It's an exciting time for WinStar's Speightster. This spring, his first crop of 2-year-olds are selling to some of the best in the business. And recently he celebrated his first winner when Queen Arella broke her maiden on debut at Gulfstream. We spoke to WinStar's Sean Tugel about Speightster and his first crop of 2-year-olds.
Speightster is a homebred for us at WinStar, born and raised here out of a very good Danzig mare, danced swiftly from the Samson family. Beautiful family full of racing champions as well as champion sire Smart Strike. So from the onset we were very excited for him, and he was, from day one, it was always a standout physically. I think when you see Speightster come out of his stall here as a mature stallion, you can see all the great qualities that Speightstown passes on to him, but then you get to see the great qualities that his mother gave him through that family and that Samson family. And he's a scopy horse. He stands over some ground, he's got plenty of leg, and he really passes that on to his offspring. Speightstown, we've been privileged to stand him here his whole career. He's a horse that keeps on giving us Grade 1 winners every single year. And when he broke his maiden first time out for Bill Mott at Keeneland in front of everyone here in Lexington, it was a horse that immediately people started to talk about. And then he went on to win the allowance race at Belmont, and then his defining win was in the Dwyer on 4th of July, where he beat Texas Red, the Breeders' Cup juvenile champion. So all three of those races were very impressionable races that really made an impact on people. And that impact that he made, just showing his brilliance and his talent, carried over to the breeding shed, where he's been well supported in all 4 years. We've seen that class that Speightster had, and we've seen that carry over to his offspring. When the foals hit the ground, they were smart foals, athletic foals, balanced foals. The pinhookers liked them as weanlings. That carried over to yearlings, and that's carrying over to the 2-year-old sales. I think a great benchmark for a freshman sire with his first crop is the agents and the trainers and the people buying horses and who's buying your horses. And we've seen early on that top agents like Steve Young and Jacob West are buying sons and daughters of Speightster. We've seen great racing outfits like JMS buying sons and daughters of Speightsters, Mike Ryan. So to do that as a freshman sire, obviously they're making great impacts on people both physically and how they're training over the racetrack. He had his winner, Queen Arella, the WinStar bred, so it was good to see that lineage carry on, not only breeding Speightster, but also having his first winner. So that was very exciting, and she's pointing for upcoming stakes races. I think that's also a great acknowledgement for a young horse, is when you're producing horses that when you haven't had the racetrack past performances to work off to give people that confidence, but you're presenting good physicals, you're presenting horses that breeders like to be around. These people, it's not only when you see them at the sales ring, but it's how these horses act on the farm with these breeders. And so we know that these horses are making a great impression on breeders, and they're coming back year after year, and I think it's going to be well paid off for all the breeders here in Central Kentucky and around the country who've supported Speightster.